Hi, hello everybody. Sorry I'm a little bit late. Got a little man tonight, my usual Tuesday night. I always have a little man, and his car works late. And he was with the childminder today, and he didn't sleep all day. And then he passed out with the childminders at like 4:15. So he had about half an hour before he got here, and which was just enough just to disturb the whole thing. So he's exhausted, like he's proper. I can't keep my eyes open, but he, oh, he just wouldn't go down. Wouldn't go down tonight. He did not want to be asleep, but he's gone down. He went down like 5 minutes ago, so I've got him in bed. Josh is keeping an ear out just in case he's not quite settled. But I think he's there. I think he's out for the count. But yeah, bless him. Yeah, he had that late half an hour nap. Normally, like no sleep after like 3:30. 3:30 is the latest for you can have a nap. But yeah, that 4:15 because he goes to bed at 6 normally. So yeah, it was a little bit of a battle. Not a battle. He just didn't know what to. You know when they don't know what to do with themselves, and they're all like, "Oh, I'm so tired, but oh, I don't want to go to sleep, but I'm so tired." So yeah, we had a bit of an evening of it, but he's all good. You'll have to excuse me. I'm in complete scruff bags today. I've been working from home trying to get my demos done for most of the day for this afternoon. So I'm covered in rubbish. So let's have a little say hello to everybody. Hi Claire, hi Natalie, hi Jean, hi Carolyn, hi Taryn, hi Linda. Hello everybody. So I know we're a little bit late. Sorry about that. But we're going to just go through tonight. Just how basically to put your quilt together. We're going to have a little chat, so ask lots of questions, okay? If there's anything you want to know or whatever, please do ask questions. But I'm just going to talk you through about how to put it all together, okay? Hopefully I am coming through live and everything. The cameras are a little messed up. I'm going to have to get Drew down after this because my overhead isn't on the right one into the sewing machine. Not that we really need either. I think it's going to be all front facing tonight because I just basically need to point and talk. Point and talk. So hi Dawn, hi Grace, hi Jean, hi Marianne. Hello everyone. Oh, lots of you coming online. Quick thank you to everybody who came to Malvern and came and said hello. We had lots and lots of ladies. Some of you who comment, others who just watch and are quiet in the background, but lots and lots of ladies come up and say hello and introduce themselves. Some wonderful ladies, you know who you are, bought us cake and gin. We were very, very spoilt, which was wonderful. And yeah, Sarah and I it was really lovely just to see you all and say hello and actually put names to faces. My eyes are very, very poorly this week, which is going to be interesting with the Chandler on Thursday. But my eyes are very poorly this week, so I'm struggling a little bit to keep focused. So I'm going to try and read your comments, and we're not going to take too long on this tonight, okay? But just remember, oh, hi Nikki, hi Katie, hi Cheryl, hello everyone. Just remember to ask lots of questions. If there's anything you're worried about, just type away, okay, and I'll ask, all right? So, what else was I going to tell you? Oh, there's 3 places left on April next year, the retreat. Quite a few ladies at Malvern actually booked on, so we've only got, if you did want to come to April next year, 3 places left, okay? So that's it. And then I don't know, we're going to have to try and squeeze another one in somewhere, aren't we, to accommodate everybody. What else? There was something else I was going to say to you. Oh, next week I'm going to announce. So we found out that they don't do a competition at Autumn Malvern. So the group quilt we can put into the Harrogate show, which is September. So next week, Sarah and I have come up with a plan. While we're away, we've come up with a plan. So next week I will announce what it's going to be. Okay, so and what block we're going to do and all that sort of thing, and the reason behind it and stuff. Okay, so we're going to do that. So thank you to everybody who says they want to do a block. There's a lot of you. It's going to be a big old quilt, but yeah, it's going to be really cool. We had a good old chat about what we will do. But it will be in the Malvern show. We'll have to put it into the Harrogate show. which we are going to be at. So we'll be able to show you video and all of it be up there, or you might be in that area and be able to come and visit it. So let's go back to the Quilt A Long, because like I said, it's probably not going to be, did you buy a dress pattern at Malvern? I didn't, but Sarah did. Sarah bought one from Cool Crafting, and she actually almost made it as well. Really nice pattern. She might tell you about it on Thursday, because I think she's going to do a live on Thursday after I do the 12 o'clock agenda. She'll come on then afterwards and do a little live here. Okay. So, but yes, sorry you couldn't make it, Carrie. I know you were feeling poorly, which is a shame, because it was a lovely show. It was really, we met some amazing people, and it was busy and lots going on and some amazing quilts. You probably watched my little lives and stuff, and yeah, quilt that made Sarah cry. that's going some. Well, that's not going some to make Sarah cry actually, but the fact it was a quilt that made her cry was amazing. So you have to excuse me. I've taken extra tablets to try and sort my eyes out, and it's maybe extra snuffly. So we're going to go over the quilts, okay? Hopefully, if you haven't finished them, that's fine. Remember, you're doing this at your own pace, so it's okay. You do as you want when you want. But we've done all the rows now, okay? So what you want to do now is join those rows together. Some of you may already have done this. I know some of you have gone ahead and actually joined your blocks. But if you haven't, so I think one lady's actually finished a quilt. Was it Carol? I think had actually finished a quilt. So what you want to do basically is put your rows together. So most of your big blocks, these ones, which were number 1 and number 3 and 4, week 1, 3 and 4, are all 12.5 inches. If it's not 12.5 inches and you can get 12.25, don't worry about it, okay? It doesn't matter if it's a wee bit narrower here, okay? The only thing that will matter is that it might not, I hope, can you guys see this? Can you see to the end of the quilt? Can you see if I go over here? It might not be quite long enough, but if you have a look at, which row is it? Which row is it? I can't see now. I don't know if you can, oh, the top row. You can see the top row, my donut row wasn't quite long enough. And I had to put in, hang on, I'm gonna stand up a second. I'm hoping you guys can see. Can you all see the top of the quilt? Just checking my laptop's actually plugged in, because it's playing up a little bit. This donut row didn't, right, so if you join the 4 together, 1, 2, 3, 4, they're 12.5 inches, which would make it 12-inch finished. So it would be 12, 12, look, these two would be 12, so 24, so it would be 48, plus you've got your 1/4 inch, so 48.5 is how long you want it to be, okay? You can see the top, brilliant, thanks Taryn, sorry, my nose is really bad. Okay, so you want each row to be 48.5 inches, okay? If it's not quite 48.5 inches, which my donut row wasn't, pop a little coordinating piece in, okay, to make it the right length. When we put this one together, this was row week 2, which these were 9.5, I believe. In your instructions, it gives you these pieces to put together, which are just little rectangles, to put together to make it long enough. Mine again, this was one of the first quilt patterns I ever wrote, okay, and it wasn't quite big enough. So this one is supposed to be here. It's a little skinny one. It's written into the pattern. This one, this side, I made just a teeny tiny bit bigger, okay? Just made it a wee bit bigger to make sure that it was 48.5. Okay, so you can see the edges in the top, brilliant. So don't worry too much about if they're not 12.5 exactly. If they're 12.25 or 12, it makes no real difference to it this way because it's rows. Just add a little coordinating piece, maybe the same colour as your border if you're going to put a border on. You don't have to put a border on, or or pick out one of the fabrics and just put a coordinating buffer block in, basically a piece of buffer fabric. How you lay it out, and I'm going to stand up here out of the way so you can kind of see it and I'll point. How you lay it out, what I would do first of all is I would join all my rows. Okay, so make all of your rows up, okay, and then go and lie it out on your bed. You smooth your duvet down and lie it out on your bed, or if you're lucky enough to have a floor space big enough, lie it out and take a photo. Okay, take a photo on your phone. You'll be able to see where the busy bits are. Okay, so originally this one was sat right on top of this row, but it was too busy. Okay, it got too sort of cluttered and it needed a stop border, and that's exactly what these rows are. And these are just rows of plain fabric, coordinating fabric, that I've dropped in to just give it that little bit of calm. It helps to frame the block a little bit. It gives it a natural stopping point before I come on again. You can add as many stop rows as you like. Okay. Hi Eileen, lovely. Is everybody with me so far? Is this making sense? Yeah. You can add as many stop borders in as you like. You could put one between every row if you wanted to. So you could put a blender row, a stop border, this row, a stop border, this row, a stop border. The width of your stop borders, again, is entirely up to you. Okay. Now, again, here I found that this block running straight into the applique was too busy. And because my middle row, okay, because I've got 2 rows down there, okay, my middle row is my applique row. Yours doesn't have to be, okay? Yours could be, you might decide, actually I want my hearts right at the top because that's going to sit at the top of my bed. And then I'm going to have all the stars underneath. I chose to put my applique row in the centre, okay? So because of that, it was getting too busy, it was getting, too fussy. The fabric that I decided to use for my border, I put a stop row of that in either side of the applique, okay? The fabrics I've used are quite patterned. If you've gone with all solid colours, you might decide that you don't need any stop borders, okay? All a stop border is just a row of plain fabric. It's sashing, basically. It's a little bit of sashing, okay? It's just breaking up those rows and rows and rows. You might decide that like I said, you might decide you're going to put a stop border between every single row, if you want to. You might decide, actually, I really like these pieced borders. You know, the little donut roll and the little hourglass that we did, and then the full patch, which I've got right at the bottom, right at the bottom down here, okay? You might decide you want to put more of those in. You might like that crazy, crazy busy look. And, it can look fantastic. It can look really, it can keep your eye moving and everything, which is quite nice. You could put more of those rows in if you wanted to. Excuse me, got a blood in my nose. Sorry, I'm really stuffy today. Here we go. So, the other thing you can decide. Why is my battery back? Hang on, guys. For some reason, why is my battery not? Why is my battery? Hang on, I've got to just work out why my laptop's about to die. Otherwise, we are gonna. Oh, that's why, because it's come unplugged. Here we go. Is that it there? No, where is it? There we go. We'll be alright now. That's because the baby and Scout were here. The laptop had come unplugged. So, thanks Heather. What was I going to say? You might decide you're going to literally put it in the order that we did them. So, number 1 at the top, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and then just intersperse those blender rows if you want to. You might have a look at it, and this is the point of lying it on down and taking a photo, is looking at that photo and seeing where your darks and your lights are. You might find that this row is really dark, but actually that row is a lot lighter. And if you put them together, the one overshadows the other, so split those apart. Take that photo. In fact, I might be able to do this actually on screen. Let me show you. Let me grab my phone. So, if I take a photo of this quilt, let me see if I can get it all in. There we go. Like that. Okay, I'm coming back over here a second, guys. Your laptop is so old it only works if it's plugged into the mains. Yeah, this one is the one that we're using for this. It's not so old, but it's if I can I put this into black and white? Let me see if I can put this into black and white a second. There we go, black and white. And then hang on, I've got to just remember. I think Is this, am I over on the overhead now? Are we on the overhead? Am I over here? Just someone shout if we are. What you can do, by putting it into black and white, okay, so if I save that. So I took a very quick photo, okay, and then put it into black and white, alright? And what that allows you to do is look at where your values are. Can you see that this, I don't know if this is showing up. I'm on, okay, you can see. Sorry, I took it at a funny angle, so the whole quilt's not in there, but this will give you an idea. Can you see that this row here, if I do that, there we go. This row, bottom row, which was week 3, yeah, week 3, 4, is very dark, okay? But it's balanced by the darkness in this one here, because it's quite dark there. So you've got that balance either side, okay? If I'd have put those rows right next to each other, and then the bottom, which you can't see, which is quite dark as well, it might have looked a bit bottom heavy, okay? You can only see the cutting mat. Ah, right, okay. Oh, okay. What about, oh no, hang on. Right, let me try and do it this way. Sorry guys. Oh, what? It looks like it's, hang on, let me just try and come over here. I'm going to try and show you. Sorry, the camera's just got messed up. Let me see if I can, okay. Right, okay, let me hold that up there. Guys, can you see that? Is that in the right place? I'm just going to have to hold it. I don't know why the overhead's not picking up. Okay, let me see. Ooh. There we go. I'm going to hold it like that. Hopefully you can see that. So what I was saying was the bottom row is quite dark, okay? And by putting a picture into black and white, I don't know if this is helping at all. By taking a photo on your phone and then turn it into black and white, just go into the filters, into the edit, and it can put it into black and white. I don't know if it's focusing. It's not working, is it? No. Hang on a sec. Let me see if I can. Give me a second. Give me a second. If I come to here, no, if I go to there, and then click on that one, and then deactivate, and then activate. No, that's over there now. Why is it doing that? Sorry guys. So if I go to, oh, I haven't even got an overhead now. Oh, I'm going to have to get Drew down here in a minute. I'm going to have to get Drew down here in a minute. I've no idea what's happened to all these cameras. Ugh. Anyway, the idea is take a picture of black and white and see where your tones are, okay? See where your tonal values are. And don't put all your darks together. Hopefully you can, what I'll do is I'll put this picture up on the gigglers so that you can see what I'm talking about, alright? And then you decide. Remember, this is your quilt, so I'm just going to go back to your comments. So, photograph isn't under camera. You can see it now, yeah. So, sorry guys, I don't know why the overhead's not working. I will get Drew down ready before tomorrow's 1 o'clock, okay? And we'll make sure it's all working. It's been a bit crazy this evening. To be honest, we're very tired. After going to Marvin and straight into her Chanda, and Sarah's had a booster, so she's feeling rough as hell today as well. It's all been a little crazy. So that's basically it. So what I would suggest you do is put your rows together, okay? Don't panic too much if they're not exactly the right size. If they're not exactly the right size, put a little buffer border, put buffer piece in on the ends. It won't look, because it's a row by row quilt, you can just add it in on the ends, okay? Then lay it out somewhere, either on the floor if you can manage that, or on your bed. Take a photo, turn that photo into black and white and think, right, okay, do I like that row next to that row? Is that row being overshadowed by the row below? In which case, does it need a stop border? Does it need a bit of sashing in between just to, break it up a little bit? Once you've done that, once you've kind of done all those, you can then decide on a border, okay? I made this a certain size because it was to go on a bed, which it never actually ended up going on. But I wanted to widen it slightly, so I put a little tiny skinny border at the top and a wider one on the outside, okay? So that it made it just that little bit wider. I then put a scrappy binding on it. Okay, once I'd quilted it, I put a scrappy binding on it. How you quilt it is, again, entirely up to you. We can talk about that though if you want to, okay? I put this, it wasn't on Daphne, it was pre-Daphne, it was the original quilting machine we had, frame we had. And I chose to quilt it in sections, okay? You could quilt as you go this if you wanted to. You could absolutely put your row together, quilt it, back just that row and quilt it, and then join it just like we've done with other quilts as you go, and join it with sashing in your rows. Okay, that would work really, really well if you want to have a little go at quilting it differently. Okay, I vermicellied over some of it. I did a little bit of fan work on other bits. I've done just a pebbles on this one, which is just lots and lots of little circles all together. I kept it to those three designs. I put the heavy quilting in the stop borders and just went with a gentle quilting on the board, on the blocks. But that again is your choice. I can if you get stuck at all, just drop us a message and I can talk you through any bits that you want me to. But have you got any questions? I feel like I'm just rabbiting. Are there any questions, guys, so that I can help at all? Has anybody got any specific issues with their bits? Oh, what's vermicelli quilting? Let me grab the camera and bring it gently this way. So vermicelli is a meander. That's this one, okay? Where you just go all the way round. It is free motion, and I don't know if you can see that, guys, but you can see it kind of goes up and round like that, all the way over. Okay, and you literally there's never a straight line, and it's never in one direction. It's a very random pattern. This one was just a bit of feather work here, and then I don't know if you can see this at the top one here. I just did lots of pebble. I did a pebble board in the border. Okay, you might be able to see the vermicelli a little bit easier on that dark bit. Okay, you can see that, brilliant. That's if you want to have a go at free motion quilting on your own machines. The vermicelli is something which you could, if you were doing just that row and you're going to do this quilt as you go, I wouldn't do every border. So, right, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. If you're going to quilt as you go this, like taking a line for walk, absolutely, that's exactly what it is. You're going to take a little line for walk. You've got, it's a line which has got a naughty toddler on it, which wants to go in all directions, okay, and round in circles, and round your back of your legs, and then up again, and up again. So yes, that's exactly what it is, taking a walk. I would join my blender row onto my block row, and then I would quilt that whole section. I wouldn't try and quilt as you go these little borders, or I would join this and do at least that. I wouldn't quilt as you go less than my hand. You want a good 6-inch piece quilted before you want to join it. Otherwise, you've got lots and lots of little slashing lines as well. But that's definitely something you could have a go at if you wanted to. If you want to have a little go at free motion, that section is not too big to handle under your machine. I bought while I was at Malvern. It's one of the only things I bought actually. I did buy fabric, but I bought fabric to make a dress, not for quilting. I also bought 2 other dresses as well. But anyway, I bought a dynamic walking foot for my machine because I've lost my walking foot. I think it might have been thrown away, maybe knocked off into my bin, and it's gone. So I bought a new walking foot. Yeah, it's called a dynamic one. Had a little go, just a very, very brief go with it, putting some binding on. It's much quieter than a normal walking foot, and did seem to handle going through the binding and stuff quite well. So I'll update you on that. So yeah, I spent. I mean, it was a little bit more expensive, sort of double the price of a normal walking foot, but I thought I'd give it a go. Sarah, however, bought a new machine. She's very excited, very, very excited. Sorry, any other questions there? What else? Are there any other questions? Anybody got anything they would like me to talk about? Do you use a walking foot when doing free motion quilting? No, you don't, lovely. You use a darning foot or a free motion foot, which looks like, on my machine, it would look like that. Okay, it's the one that's got the funny spring, so that the foot will move So, oh, can you see it moves like that? It's got a spring on it. And you drop your feed dogs, okay? So, so yeah, that's, that you use that. You can do lots and lots of amazing patterns with your walking foot though. You really can. It doesn't have to be just straight lines. You can't do curves as such because you can't go back on yourself along with a walking foot. But there's nothing stopping you like drawing out quite complicated, patterns and stuff and then quilting those slowly on your walking foot. Remember, it's a walking foot, not a running foot. Okay, so when you're using a walking foot, slow your speed right down, right down. Tina, just purchased a faff machine and your walking foot is built in. Twit-twoo, that's a posh machine, missus. That's a very posh machine. The faff guys from, did you buy it from Barnyarns at the show? It's they had some amazing machines, didn't they? Sorry, excuse me. There we go. I get really struck on ideas for interesting quilt designs. There is a really amazing book. If you're not into free motion, let me see if I can find it. I can't remember the name of it. There's a really amazing book which, what's the name of it? Oh, it's on my wish list because I keep meaning to buy it and I keep forgetting. Is it on my wish list? Sorry, 2 seconds. Just haven't. No, it's not there. Let me just. Hang on. Which is all machine quilting. Yeah, we've got machine quilting with walking with walking foot. What's the name of the book? It's a really amazing book. Is it that one? Oh no, there we go. It's called Walk, Master Machine Quilting with Your Walking Foot, and it's by Jackie, which is Jacquie, Gearing, Gering. It's 20 quid, but it's really, really interesting. It's a brilliant book. I've got a copy here somewhere. And I actually want the second one, which is 2.0. And she tells you the kind of things you can do just with your machine, your walking foot. So if you're not a free motioner, you can get amazing patterns doing it that way. So, sorry, excuse me, guys. It is Walk. It is absolutely, yeah, it is Taryn. That's the one. Oh, excuse me. So you've just, you've got it from your shop. Fair enough. Oh, well, enjoy your new machine, guys. Any questions about actually putting the quilt together? Okay, and then the other question I need to, thank you Debbie, oh it's my silly nose, and the hay fever's not, my hay fever's proper kicked in now as well, so that's not helping. Excuse me. Has anybody got any other questions? And the other thing is do you want another quilt along? Do you, I'm talking like in a month or 6 weeks time or something, have you enjoyed this one? Do you want another one? We can do something else. I mean, I'm going to give you a few weeks, obviously, to get settled with this one. But if you'd like another one, then that's something we can do, and maybe start what we now mid-May. So maybe start beginning of July or something like that. Give people sort of 6 weeks or whatever. If so, I will start. I've been working on another pattern, so we can possibly do another one where we do it over a few weeks. So. Are you sure there's no questions? Is everybody okay with how to put this together? With, laying it out, looking at it, deciding where you want to go. Don't overthink it too much though, okay? The more you move it around, the more you'll be like, oh no, okay? So don't panic too much. Just kind of go with it and take one photo, look at the photo, and move it, give yourself 3 moves. Give yourself 3 moves and then go, right, that's okay, because otherwise you could be there for weeks moving it, and you'll overthink. If you're anything like me, you'll overthink it until you don't know where you are. So, yes, please. You enjoyed doing this good quilt salon. Brilliant. Ah, fab. Hi, Jennifer. A lot of work for you. That's okay, my darling. That's fine. That's literally what I'm here for. You'll be building a lovely collection of handmade quilts, Sonia. Right. Well, I'll give you a good 6. Say we'll start the next one. Maybe, I mean, obviously we'll still do the 1 o'clocks every week, and we'll do some blocks and stuff, but we'll start another quilt along, say, the beginning of July. to give everybody a bit of breathing space. But we'll start another one, and yeah, hopefully we'll do some new techniques and stuff in the new one as well. So I'm going to love you and leave you because I think I've talked enough. And I'm going to be blowing my nose constantly because I am snuffly as hell. And nobody needs to see that or listen to that. So have a lovely, lovely evening, my darlings. I'm going to go and finish hand sewing the binding on this quilt ready for Thursday for her Chanda. So I'm on at 7 a.m. and 12 p.m. on Crate and Craft, not her Chanda, Crate and Craft it is now, isn't it? It's all Crate and Craft. 7 and 12, but I'm also on the Craft Extra again, which you can watch live on YouTube. If you can't get it on your TV, if you go to YouTube and go to Craft Extra, it's live on there as well. So, so that's Thursday. I'll be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock with a block. Okay, so we'll be back at 1 with a block. So I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care, guys.